So Nick, I want to start by those numbers that you just gave us. You don't have those all locked in your head, and only you get to get them out, right?
Yeah,
they're all locked in? Okay. I got to do like a Vulcan mind meld to get to them, or?
No, these numbers I crunch the first part, we take our snapshot of our data on the 3rd of the month, allowing for agents to close sales that might be just hanging out there before the new month starts. So we pull our data on the 3rd of the month, then I start to upload it into many spreadsheets that I keep track of going back in history and doing year-over-year comparisons. So that's where these are. They live on the public site in the media center.
Right up here at the very top.
Right.
And then, and
you're getting close.
I know, I jumped one too many. Right there, the market data report. And so I'll click over into that. So the numbers you just gave us would have come off. Have they already been posted up?
No, I'm currently working on them.
Okay, just getting them wrapped up now. But this is where they're going to be able to find them.
Right.
Once they get posted up, is in the MLSListings.com. That's our public site. And then we went over to the media center connection and the market data report.
Right.
Okay.
That's where they live on.
Okay. Well, let's move over to the new numbers you brought us, that historical information. So let me switch over here to your slide deck, and there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and we'll just get that slide nice and big, and Nick's going to get my computer here to play on.
And we welcome questions if you want to type in any questions you may have.
Like down in that question box in that panel that came up.
Okay, let's see. What I'm looking at here is I'm not seeing the whole slide, so we're going to take a look at this.
Oh, you need to see this part of it.
I can see most of it.
Okay.
As long as there are people in the world can see it, then we're okay.
I can pop this out of the way, and I know I've got Dave out there. Dave, if you spot any questions coming across the chat board, go ahead and send me a quick text, and we'll get those answered for everybody.
Okay, let's take a look at inventory. Now, my definition of inventory has changed over the 14 years I've been here, because our programmers and board and committees sometimes change how we structure what counts as inventory. So for the purposes of what I've done for the past 14 years, I include active, contingent, and pendings in my inventory. Now that, you might not think that's the proper way to do it, since pendings are, for the most part, sold, but they're not quite closed in escrow. But I'm using it as a trend line to keep consistent with what I've done in the past. So when we went to contingent pending, I kept using the three statuses to arrive at a number, and it seemed to match more what our old inventory numbers were. So it's kind of my way of keeping continuity in the system.
Right, because right now there's 17 years worth of data in this system.
Right, and if you go back before 2002, you might have some issues with data accuracy. I can just say that. So 2002 going forward, we're pretty confident that those numbers are very accurate.
Right. But before 2002, we had multiple databases running multiple sets of numbers in different languages. Yeah, right. It was a little crazy way back then.
And I have data going back to 1998, but it's based on doing it every month. You can't go back into any of our systems and pull that kind of data out.
Got it.
But for the purposes of these, the combined slide we're looking at, I'm looking at from January 05 through April of 2017. Now what I'm looking at here is from the low point, which is in January 05 for the 5 home counties combined, to when it hit the peak in July 08. I didn't even remember this. We had as much inventory as almost 13,000 single-family listings.
Wow!
At one point, this is after the sea of REOs and short sales, everything was coming back on the market. So from January 05 to July 08, inventory increased 265%. You're going to see some huge numbers as we go through these, but until you look at it on this detail, you don't realize the kind of swings we've seen in inventory. From July 08, the combined single-family hit the bottom of 2552 in December 13. That's 5 years and 6 months before it actually bottomed out. And from the bottom in December 2013 to April of 2017, we're up 82% to 4637 total active contingent pending listings right now in the system.
Boy, talk about a roller coaster ride. And that's that, like at Santa Cruz, the Big Dipper, you climb all the way to the top of the mountain, and then they just drop you off the other side for 399%.
So it'll be interesting as we go through these counties. This took 5 years and 6 months to hit the bottom from July 08. So there was a lot of ups and downs. You can see it's not all, everything wasn't at the bottom, but in around September to January of 2010, there was a real bad dip. It perked up again, but we're not seeing the type of levels that we historically see after the crash, but maybe it's more consistent with what we saw coming out of January 04 and going into 05.
Right, sort of back to normal.
I would say we've kind of crunched through the ups and downs, and now we're starting to see what inventory may be like going forward.
Right. Okay.
Next slide.
I think we just use the down button there.
This guy is a wizard.
There we go.
Oh, no,
you want to go back?
Too far.
Okay.
So look at Monterey County. Now we're starting to go through each county. January 04, there was 893 single-family listings in Monterey. It hit the bottom in December 04 at 768, shot up 277% in August 07 to 2892, and then it took a 6-year and 4-month slide, 303% down to 717 in December 13. From there to now, it's gone up about 300 listings to 1023, a very minimal rise of 43%. But again, it is starting to come back. Now let's look at year over year. April 16, there were 1,131 listings in Monterey County for single family. April of this year, there's 1023. It's down 10%. Not a lot, but it's not back at last year's level for April. So there was a pretty good dip through kind of a rise. We had a good sales and kind of prices were good going out of the year. December, you usually hit that slower point where people don't put listings on. And now we can see we're starting to make some progress, but it's not at where we were last year for Monterey County.
And this is going to be, Monterey County is that sort of that odd, not odd, like, people are odd, but just odd economically, because you've got Salinas is in Monterey County,
right,
but so is Pebble Beach.
Right. So I'm not trying to tell agents in Carmel and Pebble Beach that their market is down. This is a wide mix of single-family homes across farmland and, into Monterey, into the Pebble Beach area.
Yeah, down into the Forest of Big Sur, up in the Seaside. It's such a diverse county to work with.
So it's hard to draw any conclusions, but again, we're lower than we were last year by 10%.
Got it.
San Benito County started out, they hit their low in December 04 at 121 listings. San Benito, you can almost always count around 50 sales a month. That's kind of my gauge of their activity. From December 04 to May 08, it was 379% increase in inventory like we saw in some of the other ones. It dropped 383% down to 120 in May 2013. and right now it's holding at 174, 45% increase, kind of like Monterey's 48.
Right,
so,
just sort of bouncing along down there at the bottom of the graph, nothing too drastic.
and if you look at January 04 to December 04, we're kind of in that range again, maybe a little higher than we were.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at year over year, April 2016, there were 204 single-family homes for sale. This April, there's 174, down 15%. So it's kind of matching what I'm seeing across most of our counties.
Right. It's low, but it's stable. Right.
I mean, that's not bad. You're about 3 months of inventory there. San Mateo had a kind of little different type of look, but kind of mirrors the same. They had a real spike, kind of highs and lows of inventory going up from December 04 to 2091, September 10. That's 380% increase, but you can see how wild that ride was in that period. And then there was a steep drop-off, 3 years and 3 months, which is shorter than some of our counties we just looked at, down to 387. That's all homes for sale on December 13th in San Mateo County. It matched it again in December 2016, and now we're up at 807. So you can see they're starting to make some progress. They're up 109% from prior year, from the other low.
Really a compressed drop there. It really, like you say, shorter amount of time, but steeper angle.
Right.
And it is just sort of up and down, up and down, up and down since then.
So it's a shorter drop, and they're starting to show some signs of recovery. But as you'll see here, April of 2016, we're at 911 listings. We're at 807 now. That's 11% down. So there is some softness in there. It's not rising as we would hope, because San Mateo and Santa Clara counties have the largest percent of listings, and so they're pretty good bellwethers to see what's going on. Let's look at Santa Clara County. They hit their low in December 04, 1,347 listings. It jumped to 6,237 in July 08, up to 363%. And then the drop happened starting July 08. Inventory went down to 922 in December 13, and that's a 13%. That 576% drop. That was 5 years and 5 months of going down to the base, and now we're up at 2149. They're a little bit stronger in percentage at 133% since their low in December 13. Looking at their inventory year over year, 2474 in April 16, 2149 in April 17, so we're down 13%. And again, this kind of mirrors San Mateo if you look at both of them combined.
Right. But 1,000 new listings on the, or an additional 1,000 since January, it looks like.
Right.
So we're getting the peak, we're getting that climb we need, definitely.
It's starting, hopefully the summer months this will keep going. Last but not least, this one really surprised me, because unless you look at it in these forums in this detail, you don't really get a feel for the market. But Santa Cruz County hit their low of 382 listings in December 04, jumped up 255% to 1355 in August 06. But then they've had some ups and downs, but it's been 10 years and 4 months, and we're still not sure. Well, it looks like we're at the bottom for now at 313 in December 16. They're up to 484, which is 55% increase. But what I really have a hard time understanding is this long slide.
Isn't that I was just going to use those words. That is a long slide down.
Santa Cruz is a different market for a lot of reasons. The vacation homes and people who want to live by the ocean, things of this nature. But this one really surprised me because we're not sure this could go up and down even lower than 313 if you start to track this trend.
Right. So, and I live in Santa Cruz County, so you've got that slow growth, objectives that Santa Cruz County has, but it's highly influenced by Silicon Valley because what you may not be able to afford over here, you may be able to afford over there. And remember, Santa Cruz County is just not the Boardwalk and West Cliff Drive. It's Bonnie Doon, it's Ben Lomond and Felton and Aptos and Corlitos, and it's sort of like Monterey. There's a lot of land with a lot of different types of property over there. And so you got the slow growth, objectives combined with the influences of Silicon Valley, and then the college too, right? Because it's a college town, so a lot of that inventory is consumed by investors for rental properties,
right?
And not a lot of people let go of those properties, because they are great investments. It's a good rental market, not enough, but good rental, absolutely.
So you'd have to look at the Scotts Valleys, the Boulder Creeks, Aptos, Capitola, Soquel. You'd have to almost separate this out by city or area to really understand this market, because right now, if you look at it as a county, it doesn't really match anything else of our other counties.
Right. Speaking of Scotts Valley, I was talking with a builder friend of mine who's building homes back in the old Santa's Village area. So as you go over Highway 17 and you drop down that last hill going down into Scotts Valley, there used to be sort of an amusement area called Santa's Village, and it's over there on the left-hand side as you're going to the beach. And he's building $1.6 to $1.8 million custom homes back in there. He's going to put about 6, I think. He's selling them as fast as he can get them up, and sometimes he's selling them just after the drywall's done, and people are paying cash. That inventory slide has not deterred people from trying to get to Santa Cruz, but they're going to pay a premium price. And in a town like Scotts Valley, with great schools, nice community, all the amenities are coming in. They're going to build a new downtown area. It's reflective in not only these lower inventories, but higher prices as well. And my builder buddies are getting, top dollar for those brand new houses in and around the Scotts Valley area.
So that's kind of, a look at inventory. We welcome any kind of questions you have. I think I'll just finish up with just, now that we kind of know where inventory stands, just giving you a county by county snapshot of sales. Monterey sales are down 16% from last year. Median price is up 6%. San Benito is down 8% in sales, up 9% in median price. San Mateo is up 7% in sales, up 13% in median price. Santa Clara is down 6% in sales and up 7% in median price. Santa Cruz down 13% sales and up 5% in median price.
Wow.
So
supply and demand.
Supply and demand.
Yeah. So sometimes it's just that simple. I'm going to grab the computer back for a minute, and I'm going to turn it around, and I want to check the questions. Now, Dave, my producer, is out there checking questions. He didn't say they were any there, but let's just check to make sure. And nope, looks like we're doing okay. You've got that question box down at that panel, that control panel that showed up. So if you've got any questions for Nick on statistics or anything else related to the MLS, we'd be happy to dive in on. We've got about 10 minutes left here. So Nick, what do you think for next month? I know you sort of wait and see what the numbers tell you.
I think next month, this is kind of a new way of looking at data that we haven't done until we did the median price last month. I think I'd like to look at sales.
Okay.
Get a sales history. It's kind of in the same format.
And if there are specific, specific areas that an agent may have questions on, they want to do some of their own statistics, or, what's the recommendation on that?
I use, I don't have any secret weapon even though I'm inside the MLS, I use Matrix Stats tab predominantly to pull this data and load it into Excel spreadsheets. There are certain things we don't really have a grasp on as quarterly numbers. There is no way in Matrix to easily do that. We've had a request in for a while for that. But there's, unless you started to take trends and do this yourself, it takes a fair amount of time, probably more time than you want to spend, and not be out trying to get listings and sell properties.
Right.
So there's limitations on what your agents are going to be able to do, or brokers, and compared to I have a lot more time
right
to do certain things, just to look at trends. But the stats tab is pretty powerful. It's quick. You can get reports from that, snip them, and put them in a client presentation. So it is a pretty robust tool for quick stats.
Okay. Okay. But the type of stats you're doing, these long, pulling 15 years worth of data, that's really going to have to be done from inside, right?
Right. You need special tools for that, and there's some in the market that you can research. Your broker probably knows a few of those.
Okay. Okay. So let's talk about training, because Mark on Mondays is also about training. And we've got, a couple new things coming up. Certainly, you're starting to see the expansion of the webinar program. Jennifer Kirchie, one of our corporate trainers, and she's another Santa Cruzian. She's sort of taken lead on that project, and she's bringing not only things like Mark on Mondays to the event calendar, but also our Essentials course, which is that class that the newbies, the rookies, have to take to get up to speed with all the tools and all the data. And now she's bringing in all the rest of the classes. So whether it's a Matrix 101 class, or you want to take a stats class, what we call market intelligence, you want to keep an eye on the calendar for that sort of stuff. So here at the top of every page that we have in the system is the training link. And when the training link comes up, the lighter blue menu, toolbar, that's where that training calendar is going to be. And as we go into this, I'm going to bump it up so everybody can see it a little better. Anything, we tag the webinars right there. In fact, there's Market Intelligence. May 15th, I'm going to be doing a webinar at 10 o'clock in the morning. And I'm not sure if I'm teaching that one. I'd have to check my calendar. But whoever the instructor is, we're not only going to go over to the MLSListings.com Media Center to take a look at the canned reports you put together county by county, but then we're going to take a look at those specialty needs. Hey, what is the average sale price and the average sales in Willow Glen over the last 6 months? We'll be able to dive down into that level of the statistics as well. So other things coming up, you've got listing management in the webinar program, listing locator, I know I'm doing a couple of those, and even the custom display coming up on the 16th. So it looks like it's going to be not this week, but the following week. This week I'm taking the trainers, I'm going to lock them in a training room for what, I think, Nick, we get 3.5 days or train the trainer on a new program that's coming out. So we're getting up to speed on that. So won't see as much in the field this week, but next week, absolutely, we're going to be back in all 5 counties training up on all different types of topics, and we'll absolutely be there at the associations. Now, the associations, when they, on their websites, every once in a while I'll see some statistics pop up. MCAR, I know Monterey County likes to put statistics up. Santa Cruz, Santa Cruz County Associate, those are our numbers, right? They get them from you?
They get them from one of our other departments.
Okay.
Marketing, product marketing department.
Okay.
Sends them directly, kind of a lot of numbers, and then they pull out what they want and post it on their
and
website.
Publish from there. Okay. So
every association has different levels of how they use that, so it's not across the board. But I think Santa Clara has a tool now that's not from us.
Oh, okay.
They've added to their website. It's another data tool.
Right. Our data, their tool.
Right. It's our data going through a vendor, and then being able to be manipulated. So check out the Santa Clara site. I know I've seen it on there.
Right. Lots of different ways to run statistics, folks, whether it's our tool inside of Matrix, maybe your association has a tool, or even your broker. Check with your broker because there are other statistical tools out there. The key thing is it's all MLS listings data flowing through that tool to whatever output you want to see at the other end. Okay.
About every 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah. And the way the marketplace is changing around here, you almost need to check every 10 or 15 minutes, certainly on the inventory side of things. And speaking of that, I sort of want to point out real quick that extra layer of inventory that's sitting here and coming soon. Over here in Matrix, that's your actives and your contingents, depending if you're sold. But the coming soon listings, these are the ones that haven't truly hit the full market yet. They're not on those other websites, those portals out there. But these listings, what we're seeing here, and I'm going to sort it by the city name by just clicking on the word city. And I can come down here to Bet Avenue in Cupertino. That marketplace in Cupertino, boy, that's a 10 to 13 days on market right now. Maybe you've got a buyer that just can't find anything in the active category. Better come over here and take a look at the coming soon because these are available.
How many are there in there?
Let's come down to the bottom. Mitt's asking a good question. The inventory count is all the way at the very bottom of the list. We're at 85. Now, 2 Mondays ago when I did Mark on Mondays, we were at 106. That was early Monday morning. By later on in the afternoon, we were below 100. So those either got sold or got moved into the active category. But I see a lot of people, and I've talked to a lot of people that have been using this list to find the stuff that's coming out right now. And these agents, these listing agents that have these coming soon listings, look at all the ones in San Jose there, they have active listing agreements. They can sell these properties right now. They may want to hold off and expose it for a couple of weeks
Coming soon.
Coming soon.
We know that one.
Yeah. So anyway, so keep an eye on that coming soon stuff as well. Let's take one last look at the question area. Looks like we're doing okay down there. If you do have questions in the future, I always welcome you to email us at prodev, P-R-O-D-E-V, at MLSListings.com, and one of our trainers will get back to you and answer whatever question on whatever tool you've got. That it's a member benefit, a free member benefit, having access to 4 really, really good trainers out there who can pretty well answer any question you've got of how to use our data, how to market with our data, and so on. Okay, it is 9:30. We got to end on dot. Otherwise, I think we have to pay for more access on the internet.
Thrown out of this room.
Yeah, we're going to get thrown out of the studio here by the wacky drive time guy coming on here in a few minutes. So, okay, folks, thank you very much for being with us here on Mark on Mondays. Check the calendar for the next event in a couple of Mondays from now. I think we're going back, Nick, to just some basic, how to do some, great searches. And here's a new tip on how to do mapping. Going to get back into the fundamentals. Last Monday we had Jim Harrison on. We went through the East Bay. Nick coming on, as Nick will come on every month, right? We're going to, because you're going to be not only bringing us what happened last month, but something new, new trends you see in the marketplace you think people ought to know about. So, all right, folks.
All right.
Go out and have a great weekend, or great week. God, I just came off the weekend. No, got to do the whole week first. So have a great week out there, folks. Bye now.